I've got Bosun back here in the studio with me, and he listened to that conversation with Dr. Hassan. Bosun, so
Yes.
everything is A-OK. The financial services are fine, even though we have non-performing loans at 5%, and there are scenarios in that particular report that should eventuality gets to 10%, they still got everything covered.
Yes, but I think it was a good time for the FSS report to come out. The central bank has timed this very well. But again, I'll hold on to, within a time space, I'll hold on to one single part of it, which will take us back to the entire petrol pricing regime, deregulation, devaluation conversation. That we need to have an economic conversation and less of an emotional. We need to let our head rules this conversation rather than our hearts. Because the power of reason is from the brain, in which you look at the numbers, you look at facts behind the figures, then you look at what you're doing.
Data
now
never
you've seen a major shift. You see once you see the U.S. economy coming back to some level of growth, then you should know that all economies in the world will plug into that. Look at how much in U.S. debt assets held by Saudi Arabia. Almost 120 billion, almost 120 billion US dollars. You find a lot of countries plugging into the US economy because that is still the largest economy in the world. Investors will also pull some of the assets from emerging or from tier markets like Nigeria and put them back in the US because US is still the big boy on the planet. You can't take that away. So everybody's heading back to the US in the manner of speaking. So that is taking some flights out of Nigeria in terms of investment. So don't blame anybody here as much as it were. But again, that gives us an opportunity to begin to look at how do we build ourselves? Because again, we have all our financial assets markets are exposed to dollar-denominated investors. So whether we like it or not, there's nothing we can do about it. But look at the weakening in the eurozone, which is that zone is a major trading partner with Nigeria and the rest of Africa. So on one hand, you have the U.S. coming back with some good economic numbers, jobs numbers looking good. Then you have the eurozone, which is a major trade partner, faltering. Now, that is a problem for you here. Then you look at China, whose growth has been around 10% thereabout, slowing down to about 7% or thereabout. So you need to put this on the table. Then you begin to know you need to do something very quickly. If you don't do it, the cul-de-sac where you find yourself become a lot more difficult. And I think that's just what this FSS is talking about. Look, we have a resilient banking system, yes. However, we need to keep our two eyes open even when we sleep. And I think that's what the central bank is saying right now. And it's sending a signal to the fiscal authority, that is the government, that look, you need to do something very quickly from the fiscal space because this is the state of the banking and the financial system. So what the central bank is doing, this is our own side of the game. But you need to look at what is going on around the world. And I think Buhari's administration is also looking at that. So you need to do something with your petroleum industry. Whether you like it or not, that is still the cash cow for Nigeria. That is still the basis for which you have your bonds, you have your treasury holders, you have everything being done. So whether you are diversifying the economy, you cannot diversify from zero. You must use something to diversify. Diversification of an economy does not happen in a vacuum. You need money to put it there. You need something that people can see to put their money in. So whether you like it or not, we still hold a major position in oil around the world. Don't make any mistake about that. People still believe that Nigeria has something to give in the hydrocarbon industry, and we can get that done. But if we don't fix things very quickly, and fixing it means that the people, as the president has said 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months ago, he said it on the 1st of January, the Nigerians will have to make some sacrifice. He's not saying it for the first time. So we're not hearing it for the first time. So, and I think we should go back and read the president's statement all over again. And that's my own personal view. We need to go back and say, look, well, at some point, the Nigerians will have to make some
very, very far-reaching decisions and tighten their belts even further.
I'm going to have it. But again, people are saying that the government should also tighten its belt. So it looks like a two-way traffic. If you ask people on the street to make sacrifices, people want to see perhaps the bills in the presidential villa will be shaved off by whatever percent. Perhaps the National Assembly will shelve buying those exotic cars and use the SUVs they already have. Perhaps it should happen at the local government and state government levels, all the way down at State House of Assemblies. Can you remember the reduced number of convoys you have exotic wines and
well,
things like
it's
that.
all about trimming down. Everybody.
Yeah, so Nigerians,
you always feel you have to trim down.
So if you do 145 naira per liter, if this is this, and you say, look, the amount we're spending at the villa is also reduced by 20, 27, 40%. Perhaps Nigerians will say, yeah, perhaps we can go together.
So it's not just only about our weight, because a lot of people are always very concerned about losing weight. So it's not just about your weight. You have to lose and shrink other aspects, very critical aspects, of course. Thank you so much. But Bosun, thank you so much for wrapping that up for us very nicely. You can go to the CBN website. That report, as Dr. Mahmood says, is on their website, so you can have a broader digestion of what it is that is contained in that report. Join us again on Business Incorporated at 1:30 to get more analysis on that report as well. But if you missed today's program, you can watch it on youtube.com/channelsweb/business morning. I'm Harriet Agbeni. Have a profitable day.